Yeah. So, one thing. Let's sleep, let's eat, and let's maybe work out for a little bit because we have plans today and we are going to talk. We are going to talk today. Are you in the mood for a little bit of talking?
Blackness.
Cozy and relaxed. A little bit of
Nice and fresh
talking, the
vegetable.
world outside is grey and harmful, but we are inside our shell. Okay. I have been asked why the player character is wearing this, what's it called, kabuki mask that was worn by the great and only number one drummer of Slipknot, Joey Jordison. And I said, it's worn because of the same reason that... come on, please work. Okay, doesn't matter. Dam 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 dam. I owe you an answer. We were talking about the mask and you have so many questions in your head. You have questions, why is that girl lying up there intoxicated? And what is the deal with the mask? Hello guys, we were talking about the issue with the tissue and blah, 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 blah. I don't find any word that rhymes with tissue except issue and blah, blah. Okay, come on, let's screw that. I'm not on a good streak here. And we also talked about Nathan Jordison that you just happened to see. On that one billboard. So, long story short, or like long whatever, it is that when I coded the game, it was very, very important for me to rain a bit loud, to code a game that is inclusive to everybody playing it. It is so important to me because I love playing games, and since I was a child, I always loved to be like, when I read books or when I played my own, like with my toys, it was always like an escape from the world, and I was so immersed in.
Yes,
Okay. I can't really hear the background noise except the music. Strangely. I was always so immersed in those things that, to me, I love doing a good character creation when I start like a new game like Skyrim, whatever. And it was very important to me that everybody when they play the game feel represented. That if I want to be the character in the game, I wanted to look exactly like me, and it didn't take me very long to figure out that this would be way more effort than I could not only the effort, I just couldn't handle it. I just didn't know how to do it, and so I was looking for a good alternative, and please note his tattoos. They will become important very soon. I was looking for a good alternative there, and I experimented a bit around.
Blackness.
Buy
some fresh
Kenny, unfocusing. I experimented a little bit around. Let's buy a computer. And I figured out like different character models would be super hard to do, especially if you want to customize them. So I needed a solution for that, and I already had a character in the game that Music, shut up! I'm talking! La 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 la. That I put in the game, and his name is Joey J. He is usually, you can find him either here or in the Poor People's District. I don't see him currently. Must mean that he is asleep or something. We can actually reload the level or something. Maybe we are going to see. Anyways, I had him in the game, and because I love Joey Jordison. He is one of my absolute childhood heroes. It started over with Kurt Cobain, who basically really gave me a reason to live, and who shaped me as a person, as my view of the world, my ideals. Fortunately, was shaped by Kurt Cobain, who was always very inclusive, I feel, and that's helped me a lot. But after that, I entered a very heavy Slipknot period. Here he is, actually, Joey J. And on his eye, you can see the words "Drain You," which is my favorite Nirvana song. Okay, Joey J, let's read something about him. Sorry. My tongue. You know what I'm talking about. I love you, fellow maggot. So, somebody asked me why the mask of the main character is the same mask that Joey is wearing, sort of. And the reason, as I told you, I ended this very, very heavy Slipknot period, and basically Corey Taylor back then and Joey Jordison were my absolute heroes, and I tend to make what's the word for that? When you see people as larger than life, and I like fanboyism or something like that. Yeah, I'm really vulnerable to that. I'm still
Blackness.
I don't know if it's a good or bad thing.
Buy some fresh vegetables.
They were my absolute heroes. In 2008, I went to Berlin to see a Slipknot show, and I think Joey was late for the show, and I was like a little girl that went back then went to like a Justin Bieber concert. I went there super early by train. When I arrived, I instantly wanted to go to the show, and my uncle Frank actually had me at his place for at least a couple of hours so I wouldn't freeze to death. And also big salute to my uncle Frank that do we have the... No, we don't have it. Doesn't matter. He's in the credits. He passed away, unfortunately. A very big loss, a very unexpected loss. But yeah, alcoholism is very bad, kids. So really, drinking alcohol and losing control is nothing fun. It's nothing to be joked about. I'm sorry to being the mood killer here, or I don't want to preach or anything, but it destroys lives, and not only the lives of the people involved. Anyways, let's get back to Joey. That night, I was still super early to the Slipknot show. In the opposite to Joey, who was dealing with a very heavy, alcoholism. I think at the time, I heard that later.
Yes!
Yes. And therefore was late to the show, and I remember we all stood in front of the arena, not even being let in yet, and it was like a dead end. And then a car was behind all of us, and we were like, who is stupid enough to bring a car here to the dead end with the arena. And before we could really process it, there was a huge guy, like in size and in body radius, belly radius,
Blackness. The day
leaning
has been
over
long, but all
a
is
very
good now.
tiny person.
At the moment,
We
you're exhausted
we
for
couldn't
heat.
see who that was, but that huge
Buy
guy
some
was
fresh
just
vegetables,
like
nuts,
plowing
and bottled
through
water.
the masses.
This will cost $10.
And I was in his way, and he shoved me away a little bit, and
nobody should be hungry.
I think this was actually Joey, like being protected by his bodyguard because he was too late to the show, and I'm not sure if there was like a back entrance or something that he could have entered there. But yeah, they left him in immediately, and yeah, I still tell this story. That was one of the best days so far. Joey Jordison shaped a lot of my life as well, together with Corey. Yeah, so I had him in the game already, and while I was programming, I heard the news. And 2 years after I saw them in Slipknot live in 2008.
Yes!
Dude, you're killing the mood! It's my fault. Paul Gray passed away. Big bummer. 2 weeks before, I think before Paul, Ronnie James Dio passed away. Yeah. While I am doing this thing, one of my absolute childhood heroes passes away. Dying a death that I would speculate was very close to the death that my uncle, Frank, died. The person who took me in like for a couple of hours before I visited the Slipknot show. And Joey, he died in that way, and that was really personal for me, and then it struck me like, why not dedicating so much more of this game to him, and not only for his sake, also for my sake, to like celebrate the times I had with my idea of who he was, and with his music, like giving me a lot of strength and a lot of joy in life. And then I figured the first thing I did was actually to do the character of Nathan Gray. Like Joey's first name was Nathan, and obviously Paul Gray is in there too. And I wanted you to remember the tattoos, because one of the eyes of Nathan Gray has the same tattoo pattern like this. What's it? Kabuki mask. There he is. Unfortunately, we were not close enough. While on his neck there is a little tattoo of a pig. And maggots will know what I'm talking about. That was the first thing, and then I still wasn't satisfied, because I thought people would not really get it, like get the reference. Maybe like 1 or 2 maggots, if there are even 2 players of Smashball. But nobody else, and I wanted to do more, because I really wanted to have a tribute of that person who did so much for me, also for my own sake. And then I came up with the solution. I love masks for somehow, since I discovered Slipknot. And hey baby. And I said, yeah, let's just spark the players' fantasy. Let's just give the main character a mask that everything else, here he is, and do you see the pig tattoo down on his neck, and apparently you saw the eye tattoo. let's just spark the player's imagination, because that's a mask. There's even a story behind it. I don't know if we will shed some light on that in this playthrough, but yeah, using this mask helped me for everybody to hopefully be able to identify with the player, because you can easily imagine your own face or whoever's face you wanted to be under the mask, and the player character, like anybody else, is wearing a very loose hoodie, so
Buy some
technically
fresh vegetable.
it could apply to all genders. And if you want to see it here, I choose a skin color that is sort of a mix between different skin colors. So yeah, I thought that was the most elegant solution, and it was a great way to celebrate this childhood hero of mine, because this mask now really has a meaning to the game. Not only that you're wearing it here, because usually you don't see it when you see your player from behind, but it's when you get drafted and the first time you are in the game, and this first huge success for you to like touch the ball for the first time and carry it, which is hard, I know, especially when you begin.
Yes!
This will now forever be linked to Joey, and the people will see like the huge billboard with the player faces, and they will see themselves, and they will see this mask, and they will always know there used to be a hero that maybe was too good for the world, or maybe not, but I guess had much more to give than he already did, and he gave us so much. So we should always remember him. And I think I read somewhere that Joey really loved playing video games. Like after like second to music, of course. I read this was his big passion, and so yeah, having him on a project that means everything for me, that was reshaping my life, that was something I completely learned from scratch, new
Blackness.
and now hoping to
Buy some
somehow
fresh vegetable.
maybe even make a living from it someday, but most of all to bring joy to other people, to imagine a world and build it, and bring my own story that is in my mind to other people. And that will forever be linked with Joey, and that's the way I want it to be. And I hope maybe when you're watching this, maybe check out Slipknot, especially the early things. I joined them when they were on the All Hope Is Gone period. Why did I love them so much? When someday a very good friend of mine showed me the live recording of the song The Nameless, and my English back then was very bad, of course, but I felt like I could hear Corey sing, and even though I didn't understand the words he sang, I felt like I understood the meaning of the song, and it spoke to me. This chorus part. Google it. Don't listen to the album version. I don't like this very much. The live version is absolutely incredible. And yeah. So I suppose this episode is entirely dedicated to Joey Jordison. I love you, Joey, as so many people still do. And somebody asked me that question on YouTube, and actually, if you are watching this, hi! Great to have you here, and thanks a lot for your question that provided me with the opportunity to shed some light on that issue or whatever. So,